What's going on at the YouTube? So SEO05220 JS. Tonight I'm going to try the hat trick. What I mean by that is I'm going to be going and doing 3 different distinct reviews. First one is going to be for Mission Impossible Fallout. Next one I'm going to try to do one for Equalizer 2, and then the last one is going to be for Death of Superman Part 1. So, starting with Mission Impossible Fallout. There was a lot of buzz behind it. I was very anticipating a lot. When I saw Henry Cavill part of it, I was like really excited. Then the Fallout with the mustache thing, with King Justice League, that was a whole nother falling out. But for the betterment of the past few weeks, everybody has been raving about this film. And the reality is, when I think about this, like, there's been some great action films in my day. Like, think about Raid Redemption, Raid 2. Great action films, great fighting films. There have been some classics like Terminator 2, Con Air, Face Off. Great action, classic action. And then every few years there are movies that I consider to be action spectacles. Like they are bigger than what you can even kind of presume to have for the next 5 to 10 years. And I can only think of Avatar, The Dark Knight, Skyfall, of course Inception, and now we really do have a contender for one of the better action films that I've seen in such a long time. And I'm going to be very quick with this review because, to the point, I'm going to give it a 10. I think it's one of the better crafted, story-beated action spectacles that Mission Impossible has ever had. This is the Skyfall for Mission Impossible series. Like, flying on all cylinders. First off, the practical effects and the camera work for this. I'm not sure who the person was, the cinematographer for this, but even in the opening shot, like, you got Ethan Hunt at this airport, he curves around at a certain angle and the camera is like sliding as it goes, and I was like, what? There's a scene where Ethan Hunt is literally going and doing a Halo sky drop, where it's above the elevation that you're supposed to go, and only a few people can actually do that. And I was like, this looks real. This is real. They've got a camera person doing this while they're actually doing it. And it's like, it doesn't freaking stop. There's a motorcycle scene that is just thrilling and enthralling and engulfing, and the helicopter scene, I have never seen a helicopter scene or a chase helicopter scene like that. And to be quite honest with you, the physicality and the versatility that Tom Cruise and even Henry Cavill does for each one of these moments, that you know that these are the actual actors doing it, it resonates with me in every single way. Like, I was like, when I came out of the movie theater, I talked to my wife, I said, the last action hero literally means something now, because the reality is that is Tom Cruise. There's a lot of great action stars. There's a lot of great action-based movies. Like, The Rock is a legend when it comes to action-based films at this point. But at the same time, like, Tom, man, the dedication that he has put to these films and all of his films and his crafts are just like, unbelievable. Like, it's really unbelievable, and it's a spectacle to actually watch as a viewer, as a critic. Like, I commend him because he is, in all intents and purposes, like, one of the best actors that put themselves in the cut, probably since Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is a vet, but now I would put Tom Cruise right next to him as putting themselves out there for their craft. And in this one, the difference is where the last few films have actually been really good. They've been like progressing, and now you've got like a story that encodes, you got Ethan Hunt, his team, and they're just as smart as ever. Like, the opening scene, like, it really is so engaging and thrilling and like nail biting, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Mission Impossible at its potent is about. Like, one of the things I liked about Mission Impossible 3 is those stakes, like real tangible stakes, and I feel like they got that emotional beat for this one on key. But the difference is the action in this one rivals the first one, the fourth one, the fifth one. Like, this is probably the best amount of action and set piece scenes that they've ever done. But again, going back to the story, part of the thing that really works for this one is having the team work together, and you know who they are as individuals, but you also know, if you've seen the last film, who Solomon Lane really is and what his detriment was to Ethan and what he's capable of. Now, newcomers from last one with Rebecca Ferguson, she is back. She's in the fold, and it's interesting what they do with her character, but the most interesting character, to be quite honest with you, is Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is a different operative working with Angela Bassett's character in the United States CIA, and you know, it's when you watch Ethan and him try to work together, and you can tell, like, okay, this person is this person, this person, this one. Like, you got Goku, you got Vegeta. Like, that's where they start off. And where that goes from there is so intricately done that I think it's very important and imperative, if you are not a long-term lover of this series, that you might be taken out of it, because the reality is there are things that are said you need to pay attention to. You need to observe what is actually going on, or you're gonna miss it. And that's what I love. I love stories that really keep you engaged and like, whoa, what does this mean? Whoa, what is the ramifications of this? Now, I think towards the back third half, I was like, at a point, I was like, yo, oh my gosh, like, slow down. Like, you're taking me through a whirlwind. But as soon as I started to feel that for a second, they hit me with this emotional moment, and I'm like, wow, this character has evolved. This character has progressed. And there are some things that happen that, like, there are deaths. There are, like, tragedies. There are things that happen in this one that I was very caught off guard by. But by the end of the film, like, I was like, this is one of, if not the best, Mission Impossible film that they've ever made. And I don't really know where they go from here, to be quite honest with you, because, I mean, if they never did another Mission Impossible, I would say this turned out the series as a whole. Like, this is one of the best that I've ever seen it. Again, Tom Cruise is impeccable. Ving Rhames does a really good job with his timing. Simon Pegg, great with his comedic numbers and even action moments. Just the cast was just great, you know what I'm saying? But I think that the direction for this one and the cinematography and just how quick-witted with everything that tastes like this, like this, like this, and then it ramps up, that is something that a lot of films don't do well. And The Dark Knight and Skyfall are great examples of what that looks like to be a spectacle of an action film. 10 out of 10 for me, you guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. Again, remember there are going to be 2 other reviews coming out tonight. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace, guys.